the crown, Rockies to bats. My team, my vision, placing bold bets. Strategies drawn with passion and might. Gridiron tactics with all the night. Set my lineup is signed, gotta make that call. Dynasty dreams, I won't let them fall. Every yard, every play, it's all on me. The future's bright, champions you'll see. Hold the line and fight the sound. In Dynasty, we'll own this ground. Trading players, build it strong. In this league, we'll right the wrong.
All right, it is cut day, and we are going to talk about all of the cuts that happened that balance the budget in Fiddy Tree. It's a huge day for the league. The future is shaped from today. Who you cut can move to other teams, and they could be big names. And today was a whopper.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
It jumped up a notch.
It did, didn't it?
Yeah, I stabbed a man in the heart.
I saw that. Brick killed a guy. Did you throw a trident?
Yeah, there were horses and a man on fire, and I killed a guy with a trident.
Of a day. Absolute whopper of a day. Let's take a look and break it down. We're actually going to start a couple days ago, okay? We're going to start on Friday, where we start to get some of the first drops. We start to get some of these things that just start rolling downhill. So, right here, if we pay attention, we're down here. We got Hayden Hurst and Cole Holcomb getting dropped. Big stuff. I know. We're starting off slow. Bear with me. Deontay Biggs, Damone Clark, Taylor Heineke, Jermaine Pratt, Jared Stidham, Sean Tucker, Hassan Reddick, Dante Foreman. This was all on the 11th. Okay? So, again, we're starting to see some movement happening, and we're still a couple days out from all of the actual, the actual cut period. That was 9 a.m. on Tuesday, 9 a.m. Central on Tuesday. And, it's important that you're starting to show your hand, but you got to show your hand, right? That's the point. Cut period makes you show your hand. Who you dropping, who you not dropping, where are you going with your team, right? So, moving up a little further, Austin Eckler, first probably halfway big name, running back, a very key position in the league. Austin Eckler was dropped by Matt. That was Sunday evening, okay? Nolan Smith, Leo Chanel, a couple defensive people, and then we start getting the big groups Monday afternoon, okay? So we'll start here quick with Dorn. He dropped Malik Cunningham, Andy Dalton, Mac Jones, not far, away from expectations. Tyler Algier, big name. Samaje Perine, a good depth piece. Tyler Higbee won't play a lot this year. Adam Thielen, Alec Pierce. Adam Thielen probably the biggest name out of these guys, but starting to see that it take form, right? All of this stuff was kind of expected. We expected to see these names dropped for the most part. I don't think there was any surprises here. Adam Thielen maybe a little bit, but in general, he did upgrade to Deontay Johnson as far as the youth aspect, same offense, so I get it. Not long, about 15 minutes later, he dropped some defensive players. Matt Milano, Christian Roseboom, Sion Takitaki, Pete Warner, a former host of The Reckoning player, Nick Benito. All of these guys dropped. Again, not really a surprise. Defense still gets cut despite the scoring change that we talked about previously. Then comes in Jimmy. This was about 6 hours later. He drops Teddy Bridgewater, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Najee Harris, Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones, probably the first big surprise of these. We saw Najee because of his cost at $44. Aaron Jones being granted about a 30-year-old 30-year-old running back, but a 30-year-old running back in a solid offense. We have Jahan Dotson, who's gone. Tyler Lockett, Robert Woods, not a surprise. Brevin Jordan, and then all the defensive players as well. Jordan Poyer, Josie Jewell, Desmond King, Shaq Barrett. Not a surprise with Barrett. He's a free agent. But in general, the first big name that stuck out there, Aaron Jones, and all of a sudden you start to see that the free agent running back landscape is halfway decent, right? We have Najee, we have Jones, we have Tyler Algier, we have Austin Eckler already, and we're at Monday. We're not even to Tuesday yet. So I come along, I drop DeAndre Hopkins, Quentin Johnson, Sky Moore, Joey Bosa, Christian Harris. Joey Bosa, the unannounced hitter, got hit with $4 on ARB. I think the only defensive player to get hit with ARB. So be it. Dropped all of that, brought me down to where I'm at. I have 25 players, $126. So I know where I sit, and I know what this was my last set of cuts, or so I thought, and we'll retouch on that a little bit. Jimmy, again, Monday night, dropping Jonathan Allen, C.J. Mosley, Jordan Whitehead, Josh Sweat, some more defensive players. Again, not crazy out of the ordinary. Taylor comes through. Monday evening, we got Trey Lance, Jerry Jeudy, Treylon Burks, Luke Schoonmaker, Tyquan Thornton, Isaiah Spiller, Antonio Gibson, again, another running back. So a little bit of help here for the running back class again, and a couple okay wide receiver pieces. Jerry Jeudy and Cleveland probably going to be the two, not the biggest passing offense, but we're starting to see some more names fall. Taylor drops Dameon Pierce. He also drops Isaiah Simmons, Leighton Vander Esch, Devin White, and then drops finally Daron Payne, Kwity Paye, and Harrison Smith Monday night at 10 p.m. Tuesday, very early Tuesday morning at the Eastern time zone, we have Rob, who came through. He dropped a load of people. Deshaun Watson, big name here. Kenneth Gainwell, Miles Sanders, Demarcus Robinson, Tucker Kraft, a bunch of defensive pieces, Jordan Brooks, Devondre Campbell, Mikael Walker, Patrick Surtain, Justin Reed. Big standout here, biggest name that's probably dropped here in any way would probably be Deshaun Watson, starting quarterback. He was $31. It's kind of one of those situations where you're like, yeah, this makes some sense, right? Other than that, nothing really out of the ordinary. Then Jimmy comes through and things start to fall a little bit more away from what we expected, at least what I expected. Michael Mayer and Chris Godwin, Bobby Wagner was expected, but Chris Godwin and Michael Mayer both caught it. So now the wide receiver is starting to get big attention at this point, very early Tuesday morning. Colton drops Ryan Tannehill. Then Colton drops Cooper Kupp. Wasn't sure that would happen. I brought it up in one of the videos. I wasn't sure if he was going to be dropping Cooper Kupp, $52 price tag. He does take the step on the 30-plus-year-old wide receiver. So the wide receivers now take a big boost, and we're seeing this running back and wide receiver. They have a solid amount of names already. We know that there's a couple teams that aren't really going to be super invested or super able to be invested in at least the beginnings of free agency because of their cap situation. And now this is it's starting to get real interesting because you're going to see some big players to move, and we're not done. Jelani Woods. Then Colton drops Tony Pollard at it was $33, and at least we'll have a good chance of the passing downs. We'll have a good red zone roll, a solid red zone roll. Drops Tony Pollard. Drops Zach Ertz. DJ Chark, a little less. But these are the big names, and you're talking 1 o'clock in the morning. So you're getting to the point where if you see someone who you've made some moves, you're looking forward to the draft, you're looking forward to this movement. Let me tell you something. You get your zapples riled just a little bit. You know what I mean? And you should at this point. Then Ian comes through with his 1:51 a.m. These are the first round of expected cuts, I would say. No surprises really in here except for, you get the couple quarterbacks, Zach Wilson, Elijah Mitchell in there from the running back group. You get Kendrick Bourne, Stephon Diggs, Travis Kelce, and George Kittle. All cost-related, all necessary, all cut. And so now the tight ends have some representation. You have a really good batch of wide receivers. And we're just going to keep picking it up here because it doesn't go away really quick. Logan Wilson dropped by Ian at 1:53 in the morning. 2 o'clock in the morning is Andre Iosivas from Colton. 2:30 in the morning, you get Mike Gesicki from Ian. Ian takes Justin Matabuke and Frankie Louvu, drops them at 3 a.m. At 3:22 a.m. Eastern Time, Rob drops James Conner, Keenan Allen, Rashad Bateman, Hunter Henry, Rashawn Gary. Someone put my floaties on. I'm drowning in available free agents. I almost woke up. I'm asleep at this point, of course. But I wake up, and there was some. I was very excited. Let's just put it that way. We would just put it that way. Dorn comes in at 7:47 in the morning, drops Nick Chubb, Rondell Robinson. Makes sense. Nick Chubb probably hurt and very expensive. Have to be betting on a lot of money to come into your coffers later. I wouldn't do it, right? Malcolm Koonce comes. I am realizing I might need a few more dollars, so I do that. Trey Palmer, $9. Matt Judon, $3. Denzel Ward, $3. I'd take another $15 off for the 3 players. I realize it's basically going to be represented in my last. That gives me my last 4 picks of this draft that are free. So I turn 3 players into 4, if not maybe 5. And I'm looking forward. Now it starts to get spicy. You can see the time frame at this. That was at 9:39 a.m. And between 9:39 and 10 a.m., it goes down. Zach, commissioner, comes in. Marcus Mariota, Michael Carter, not a big surprise. Eric Gray, probably now the 2, in fight with the 2. Okay, fine, whatever. Zay Jones, Michael Thomas, Van Jefferson, Eric Kendricks. Most of these, again, expected. Dorn and Zach agree to a trade that sends Derrick Henry to Dorn's team for a 5th and a 6th round pick. It's some good stuff, let me tell you. This is good stuff for Dorn. Great job by Zach to just get something back instead of cutting Derrick Henry. He needed to get the $63 off his roster. Dorn was there to pick up the pieces, right? Then Taylor comes through, still realizing he's short some money, drops Jonathan Mingo, Ezekiel Elliott, Stetson Bennett. Zeke probably the biggest name there. Then he drops the bomb. Dak Prescott, Russell Wilson, Kendre Miller. Prescott and Wilson, 2 of his 3 quarterbacks. He keeps Kirk Cousins, name of his team. Drops Dak Prescott, drops Russell Wilson. I don't know. I think it was a little bit of a panic move, honestly, to drop Dak. A little bit, right? Contract wasn't that bad. $55, 400 fantasy points. What a guy. Dropped him. PC drops Derek Carr, Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, James Derwin. Good defensive pieces. Quarterback, a wide receiver. Matt drops Christian Watson, Marquise Brown. Wild. Whack drops Justin Fields, expected. Tank Bigsby, sure. Shaq Leonard, why not? Darnell Mooney, Deuce Vaughn, Rondell Moore. I said Rondell Moore. Alexander Madison, right? Ian drops Roquan Smith, then Trayvon Diggs. Dorn drops Daniel Jones, so we have, and then Matt drops Aaron Rodgers, and all of a sudden you got about 7 starting quarterbacks that are floating out there. You got Sam Darnold, you got Aaron Rodgers, got Daniel Jones, got Russell Wilson, you got Derek Carr, you got Dak Prescott. There's a lot of names out there for people, There's a lot of names. Whack comes through again. J.K. Dobbins, Evan Hall, Gabriel Davis. Not a big deal here. And then the last one is he drops Calvin Ridley. With 11 seconds to go, I want to point out. 11 seconds before the cut deadline, where he's done. 11 seconds, drops Calvin Ridley. So as it looks right now, he has 32 players on his roster. He has $227 in cap space. He has the 1st overall pick, the 10th overall pick, the 11th overall pick, and the 19th overall pick in this draft. And he has a large amount of names that he can absolutely take a swing at in free agency, and he will win a good chunk of them because people just can't keep up with him. The next closest, there's about 5 or 6 teams in the $140 to $170 range, and they'll probably get a name or 2 each. So be it. But this was magnificent to see all these names drop. This has been the most. This is the most amount of names I've ever seen on a free agency board. There's a lot of youth coming into the league that's amazing. And I just wanted to stop in here and take a look at just how many names were dropped. So I just wanted to kind of come in and give my thoughts on all the cuts that were happening. The roster seemed to be pretty good. Overall, it's going to be a little bit of a dogfight for free agency, I think, between a few teams. There's going to be a couple that are laying back, and then there's going to be, Whack Attack, who's going to go out there and just absolutely go bombs away. So, with all of that being said, I just wanted to thank everybody who stuck with the series so far and appreciate all of the work these guys are doing. I want to thank Jack Dorn. Again, this episode dropping on the 14th, and then on the 15th, you will get the mock draft, the rookie mock draft between me and Dorn, going through 2 rounds of picks. And then you won't see me for the weekend because I'm going to take it off. I'm going to do some draft. I got some other stuff that I got to do. And then on Monday, there's going to be at least 1, maybe 2 videos. My actual draft that I would have done. That way I don't give away my picks. That'll be about a 5 to 7 minute video. And then we're also going to give an update on the real draft. So I might do those together, might do those separate. Who knows? We're ending it with Bob Barker like we usually do. We'll see you guys for the mock draft tomorrow. And then we will see you on the other side of the weekend. Have a good one. Fiddy tree out.
Bob Barker reminding you, help control the pet population. Have your pet spayed or neutered. Goodbye, everybody.